Hello and welcome to another video from David Chill at Versatility in Print, and here we are in our hot foil printing studio. Over the last year I've had a number of requests from customers, fans, whatever you want to call yourself, to talk a little bit or explain a little bit about sublimation foil printing. Sublimation foil printing perhaps isn't quite the right word to use, but that's what people know it as. It also goes under many other names, such as laser toner foil printing or omnicrom foil printing. If you are in the sort of crafting fraternity, you may have heard of a machine made by a company called Patsy May. You may have heard of something called a Heidi Swap. You may have heard of a Mink machine, and basically those are three types of machines which you can do the laser toner foil printing process with. These are perhaps, in the nicest possible way, entry-level machines, and are in essence either a laminator or a slightly more upmarket laminator. The important thing to know is if you are using one of these laminator type machines, it's good to have a variable temperature and a variable speed control, because that will help you with your foil printing. So how does sublimation foil printing work, and how does it differ from standard foil printing? When you are sublimation foil printing, you are taking something, and here is an example. So what I've done is taken here some wording from, it says wedding invitation, out of a laser printer. Now it has to be a laser printer, not an inkjet printer. The simple reason is that within the toner mix, in the black toner, you have carbon molecules, and there is a special foil, and that foil will react, and under heat, about 180 degrees, it will fuse to the toner. Now the toner is fused onto the paper at approximately 180 degrees, and the foil is then fused onto the black toner at roughly the same sort of temperature. Now, back in the 1970s, 1980s, there was this machine here. This is the Omnicrom machine. They had, I think, 3 or 4 models: the 300, the 500, the 1000 and the 2000 model. Here's a fact you won't hear very often. The machine got its name because that's how much it cost when it was new. So the CT1000 was £1,000, the CT2000 was £2,000. The 300 and the 500 and the 1000 models do A4 sheets. The 2000 model did an A3 sheet. And what you would do, you get a single sheet of foil, put it over your toner sheet and pop it through the machine here. And it works, as I say, just like a laminator, and as it goes through the heat, the foil will then adhere to the sheet you're putting through. So that's what people did in the 1970s and 1980s, and it was quite popular to be used in art studios for greetings cards mock-ups. So then we came on to its sort of natural successor. This is a roll feed foil laminating machine, and today we're using a bronze metallic foil. We start with the take-up roller, and this here takes up the excess foil. We have a speed control here, we have a temperature control, and a forward and backward roller movement. Now we're going to take our sheet that's come out of a laser printer. It doesn't have to be an expensive laser printer. In fact, probably the less expensive, sometimes the better it is, which is a rare thing in this day and age. The more expensive laser printers or digital copiers often use a little bit of silicone oil within the mix. Now the silicone makes the toner flow better and the pages flow faster through your laser printer. But the more silicone oil within your toner mix, the less well the foil sticks. It's almost like a sort of a non-stick material. And often people come to me with problems and saying, I'm using this method, whether it be through one of the cheaper machines or one of the more expensive, and the machine doesn't work properly. In fact, probably more likely it's the wrong sort of toner mix that is causing the problem, and the foil won't stick to it because of possibly things like silicone oil in there. So what we're going to do now is, you can see that's black. We're now going to pop it through the machine. So I'm going to place it down here. I'm going to turn, it's already been heated up, I'm going to turn the roller on, move down the pressure and feed it through. It can go through at variable speeds, it doesn't have to be very, very fast to get a good coverage. And you can see now it's been foiled over, and everywhere where there is black toner, the foil has now stuck to that image. And this enables you then to foil one-off items, whether they be A4 or A3 items, without the aid of a foil printing plate, which for an A4 sheet of paper could cost you nearly up to £100. On an A3, very few machines will cope with it, and the plate charge will be very expensive as well. So that's really how simple it can be. So, whilst we're talking about sublimation foil printing, you do need a separate type of foil for this procedure. It comes under the name of either sublimation foil, you may find it under the name of laser toner foil, or omnichrome foil, or finally something unusual called UFO foil. Any of these four types of foils will work, but allow me to stress that you can't use standard foil or heat transfer film when you're doing the sublimation foil method. I had a phone call the other day from someone who said none of my foil will work, and I asked him which ones they were using, and it was just that thing, they just had the wrong foil for the job. These foils are a little bit more expensive, but they're not cost prohibitive, and often people sell them in small A4 sheets. If you come to us and Hot Foil UK Supplies, we actually sell by the centimetre, and they're 122 metre long rolls, so we are incredibly good value for money. Here we have another couple of items that I thought I'd show you. This here shows you a full A4 image that we've printed first of all with black toner, and then we foiled over in gold for a whole A4 sheet. And then the second one I have, I think this is quite neat, really just a sheet of labels that we've put through our laser printer, and then we've put through the laser toner foil method, so you now have foil printed labels. When you're buying foil for your laser toner foil printer, it will come in big rolls like this. In fact, these are 610 millimeters long. And what happens is the supplier will cut down a length that you specify that you need for your machine. Now, a lot of the suppliers will be selling in A4 sheets at quite expensive prices. We sell by the centimetre. They're 122 metres long, the rolls, so what you get for your money is a huge amount more than buying single sheets of A4 foil, or the smaller cut down rolls that only have maybe 10 or 15 metres on them. So do look around and try and get yourself the best price for your foil. We're now coming on to the hot foil printer. Now, you may or may not be aware that your hot foil printer that you have at home, whether it be a platen style machine or whether it be a flatbed machine, can actually be converted for this sublimation foil method. So all you need is what's called a sublimation or tipping plate. A bit like Blue Peter, here's one we had earlier. So this gives you an idea, and this is a silicone rubber plate onto a metal backing, and it's been fused on, and you can buy this in different sizes from ourselves if you wish, according to the size of your machine. And what I've done here is I've taken one of these plates and already placed it here onto the hot plate using a die mounting tape. We've turned our machine up to about 180 degrees. Here on the top of the machine, this time we have a silver foil that we're going to print in. And I'm going to take an item, and here I've chosen this particularly because we have lots of small images on here as well as larger images. I'm going to place that into the platen, bring the handle down, and you can see all the foil has adhered to where there was once black toner, even on the very small tiny areas. So now for the addition of anything from £50 to £100, depending on the size of your machine and the size of the sublimation plate, you can turn your standard hot foil printer into one of these laser toner foil printers that will do the same sort of work. Probably one of the best uses for this method is something like wedding stationery, where somebody wants to send out invites with everyone's names on them. So you have Mr. Jones, Mr. Smith, Mr. Brown, etc. You don't want to get a foil printing plate for each different name. By putting it through your laser printer, then using the toner foil method, you can create individual named items. Same with certificates for any award ceremony, and you have different or variable names. You maybe want to do a one-off proof. You want to show someone what something will look like with a gold, silver, whatever colour of foil without going to the expense of having a plate made. So lots of different reasons to use it. You could be a crafter, you want to have happy birthday Nan, you want to have a specific date, you don't want to invest in a plate, quite understandably, because it is a one-off item. Use the laser toner foil method. So if you would like any more information, please do contact us at the hotfoiluk.com website. Also, you will find we have supplies at the hotfoiluk.com website, where we've just opened our new web shop. Thank you very much, and this is David Chill, and if we can help with any more of your hot foiling queries, do contact me and we'll make a video about it. Thank you.